Our last song called Melrose Pike Street Shit. And that was our last song of our set. And we're room. Thanks for coming along.
Ready? Testing.
Hey.
Turn it up. A little louder. Right there. Ready?
What up, Tucson, Arizona? I'm back, Calm Crazy, episode 121. I wouldn't be here without the help of a very good and dear friend, Marty Catola, editor of Calm Crazy. And I want to thank TCCC for making the show possible. Okay, first things first, the topic of today's episode is going to be killing, more death, bloodshed. Okay, so what I'm basically going to do right now in this segment, I'm basically going to go to all the hot war points on the globe. Okay, well, first of all, we're going to go to Iraq. I just read, and I was surfing on the internet, courtesy of Marty, that one of two Americans who were kidnapped a week ago in Iraq, who are civilian contractors working for a civilian company, was decapitated by 5 people. And guess what, people? They showed it on video, they aired it on the internet, and not only that, in graphic detail, they also showed, basically what I'm going to do is show you the horror of it. They had a small knife, and one guy with a black hood killed the American citizen and managed to saw off at the neck. And they took the head off. He's not the first American to be decapitated and beheaded in Iraq. Unfortunately, he's the one of now too many. Which brings me to the topic of George W. Bush, who I think is one of the most evilest men in America after Ronald Reagan. Even though Ronald Reagan's still dead, I know he's out there alive somewhere. But George W. Bush is in Iraq only for one reason: get to be rich. If you're a voter, don't vote for George W. Bush. Vote for John Kerry, because it's a known fact, which I believe, that George W. Bush will be a very rich man after he leaves the White House. Once he leaves the White House, even if he were to lose this year or be reinstated for the next 4 years, basically he's going to die a very rich old man, because his companies are going to be the companies that are reconstructing Iraq. For example, Dick Cheney has a company called Halliburton. Okay, enough of that. Now we're going to talk about more death. We're going to go to Russia now. In Russia, 2.5 weeks ago, there was a terrorist siege, hostage situation at a very large school. There were 40 terrorists who managed to take 1,100 kids, students, teachers, and staff, and parents hostage. Okay, we all know what happened. It lasted for 2.5 days. We all saw the picture of all these kids in the auditorium with their underwear, with stifling heat, and basically all these kids were forced to pretty much sit on ticking time bombs. But what happened on the 3rd, 4th day of the siege, and for a lot of people who don't know what happened, the terrorists took over a school in Russia, and what they did is took over the whole situation, took all the kids and parents hostage. And then on the 4th day, there was, I guess, a miscommunication. Was what happened, no one really knows, but one bomb went off. And when that first bomb went off, some of the terrorists got too panicky, and some of the people outside, including soldiers and armed civilians with batons, rocks, their own gun, pretty much the parents of the kids inside. And the Russian government is not too sure on if they try to prevent the outside forces, the parents trying to rush to school because their kids are inside the school. So what happened is one bomb went off, no one knows by accident or whatnot, blew up, and several hundred kids started running for their lives. They did not know what was going on. They ended up running, and two of the terrorists opened fire on a group of kids, mowing down a lot of kids, mowing down, pretty much killing them on the spot with a bunch of bullets to the brain. And when that happened, the outside forces, including the Russian military and the armed parents, saw that, and they rushed in with no plan whatsoever, no helicopter, no nothing, and they all rushed in at the school, and hell broke loose. And we all know the outcome: almost 400 dead kids, students, teachers, staff, and parents. And then, and the audacity, President Putin, he's the president of Russia, the audacity to say that, or the audacity to think that maybe he shouldn't be president. What he wants to do, he said he's the only person in the whole country of Russia who is equipped to handle with these terrorist situations. So what he's asking the people of Russia is to pretty much make him president for a long time. A lot of the Russian people in Russia are thinking that maybe there's a conspiracy theory behind the whole fact maybe the president masterminded the terrorist attack. But I don't think so. It's pretty much a bunch of Muslim Western Russians who want their own Muslim state or country, and Russia won't give it to them. So that's that. We all saw the picture. So God forbid that should happen in this country. Oh, I forgot it happened in April 1999, Columbine. Okay, next hot point we're going to talk about is, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, there have been almost 1,030 U.S. casualties, and I believe almost 7,500 wounded from the Iraqi war. I'm sorry if we keep on going back to this. It's important because what I'm about to talk about next is important to the whole plight of the country. We're still over there in Iraq, even up to the fact that Saddam Hussein is not in power anymore. And now we have several factions of the Jihad, Al Qaeda. We have other insurgents who are foreigners. It's like basically what George W. Bush did in Iraq. Saddam Hussein was the head of a dragon, and George W. Bush chopped off the head of Saddam Hussein, thinking that was it, but only to have 3 or 4, 5 more heads pop up. So that's the situation now. Now that we think that democracy is going to be able to be restored to Iraq, there's the elections coming up for them in January, where I don't think it's pretty much going to make a difference because people are still going to be dying. I also found out, if you read in the classified ads in the Arizona Daily Star and Tucson Citizen, they are advertising for civilian contractors who are mechanics to be working overseas in Iraq, starting pay $80,000. Also, I also found out a lot of foreigners like to work in Iraq for the U.S. military because the U.S. military is willing to pay the big bucks. Big bucks. Okay, now we're going to talk about George W. Bush. There's a new book called, I'm not really sure the title of the book, but it's by Kitty Kelly. She's responsible for the biographies. She's a biographer who made biographies for, Nancy Reagan and Princess Diana, I believe. And she wrote a new book. It's a really well-researched book because she's a world-renowned researcher, Kitty Kelly is. And she's saying that George W. Bush, when George Bush, number 1, was president, George W. Bush was doing cocaine at Camp David. I wouldn't be surprised because you know why? George W. Bush was the governor of Texas from the early 90s to 96, almost to 2000. And you know, Texas gets alongside the border of Mexico, so you can get cocaine pretty good, I believe. And we all know that he's a recovering alcoholic. He said he liked to drink because of the taste. All I have to say is that don't vote for George W. Bush. Vote for John Kerry. Vote for anybody other than George W. Bush. And on a lighter note, I just want to say that there's more killings every day in this world, and that there's more death in this world. And you know what? And that's the way it's going to be, people. Call Me Crazy Show is reaching a new plateau in TV journalism because I am being, what is the word, transfixed by the events that is happening around us. So, okay, I gotta go, people. I had a great time. But again, remember, people, be glad to be an American. Be glad you're able to get high, get stoned, drink, jerk off, do whatever you want under the sun in your own privacy, your own bedroom, and there ain't gonna be no masked gunmen coming into your house. So basically, God bless the world. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. And you know what? I'm out of here, folks. But you know, I hate to say it, but I think I might have a wardrobe malfunction.